past? Is there something you want to tell them? Join Animal Connections and renowned pet psychic Nicole Elizabeth as she connects with your pets both living and past to deliver messages and receive answers to your questions. Here now is your host, Nicole Elizabeth.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Spirit Realm Network. My name is Nicole Elizabeth, and this is Animal Connections. And today it's Thursday, 8 p.m. Standard Eastern Time on the 24th of April. So I'm here to give you free connections with your pets today. I'm just trying to get up the chat on the Spirit Realm Network. So if anyone wants to interact with me today and have a free reading or a free connection with their pet, if you can pop onto the spiritrealm.net and then watch live TV, and there is a chat, which I wonder if it's my internet, just taking a long time for my phone to kick in. Here we go. So there's chats already. That's lovely. Awesome. Okay, so if you just pop over there, we can interact. And if you just leave your pet's name, what they are, whether cat, dog, whether they're living or past, and what you want to know. And I believe, let me just pop in and I'll see if you can actually put photos of your beloved pets there. Yes, so when you go to leave a chat, you'll see a plus sign with a circle around it, and that's where you can actually leave your photos. So everyone who can will be able to then see your photos and engage and connect with your pet as well. And who knows, maybe they'll give you a bit of a reading in the chat as well. But let's get started. So, oh, Kelsey. Oh, Kelly. Oh, no. Okay, so everyone who's been watching, if you've been following my regular viewers here on Animal Connections, Kelsey's just left a comment saying that she said she knows she asked a lot about Callie, but that's okay. We have time. We'll deal with Callie. We'll talk to Callie. I remember Callie's personality, actually. And unfortunately, she passed on Easter. And Kelsey wants to know, can you tell if it was the right decision and if she was doing okay? Thanks. Oh, that's sad. It feels very feels very quick. I don't actually feel like Callie was really expecting that, to be honest. Don't take that the wrong way. I mean, you know, when you just feel like sometimes you're just dealing with things, you just feel like you're doing fine, and then sometimes it can turn quite quickly. That's what I mean with that. So I feel like none of you are really expecting that outcome or that to happen at that stage. Very interesting to me, though, that it happened around Easter time, because for obviously whatever I'm not going to go into people's beliefs, but it is a lot of endings and new beginnings around that time, just even in the air. So it kind of almost feels a little bit like right timing for Callie to go around that type of energy. You know, it was kind of felt like the exit was there, and the opportunity was there, and she took the opportunity, but she wasn't planning it. So does that make sense to you? Let me see what else I can get with Callie. So there's a chat. So Kelsey's popped in the chat. She was doing great Friday and Sunday. She was doing great Friday, and Sunday she was not doing well. So it just hit her hard. There you go. The feeling I'm getting with her, though, is, so we've confirmed that it wasn't planned by any of you. It just happened that way, but I actually feel like it was a good time for it to happen. Now, that may sound very odd for me to say, because there's really never a good time for us to lose our pets. It's always going to be horrible. But from a spiritual level, from a higher than us level, it's almost as if that was a good time to transition, because we don't know and we can't always see what's coming. And yes, we can connect with people that connect with the energy of the future, but it doesn't mean that's exactly what's going to happen, because it's just a perfect possible future. It doesn't mean it's 100% the future. So we can't always delve into that correctly or always 100%. But it seems to me that animals tend to just know when it's the right time to go. They just know. They don't know on this level, but they know on that level, and they're very still connected to that higher realm. And they just, so what doesn't feel right for us tends to be right for them. I feel like I'm already going on different tangents. We're going into the hard stuff really quickly today. But I feel like that was just Callie as well. That's how intense she was in life, and that's how intense it was to go out like that. To be honest, I wouldn't expect anything less from her. And I feel like she's quite possibly laughing at how it was like that, and it was on her terms. A lot of pets love going out on their terms. I guess we would too, when I look at our perspective. But it just feels like, to me, it just felt like the right path and the right road. And I keep referring to this way, and I know it's in reverse in the camera, but for me, that's the spiritual side. So it feels like that's just the path that was going to be taken. It wasn't planned, but it wasn't planned for what we can see, but it was the plan and the path that she was going to take. So I hope that makes sense to you, Kelsey. Let me have a look at the chat. Hi, Rochelle. Hi, Heidi. I was thinking about Madam today. Heidi. What is her name? Oh, my goodness. It's just escaped me. I was thinking of her name, Honey. Honey today. Oh, my goodness. I don't know why that just slipped my mind. I know Honey. I was thinking of Honey today, actually. I got your message early because for everyone that's watching, Heidi asked if I was going to be on, and Heidi hasn't had a chance to see the show yet. So if you have a question, Heidi, please shoot it through so I can connect. But I don't know, I'm up really, really early, and I saw your message. And then from that point on, I was just like, Honey. And I was just kind of like doing things with Honey and being with Honey. And then almost Honey was, what was it? What was she doing to me? It was like she was nudging me. That being said, I feel like I'm getting tapped, and it's kind of like Honey going, that she's still in deep grief, but Honey is still trying to help you. The way I'm seeing it is it's kind of like this big mound that you're trying to get through, but the only way is it's not really through. It's kind of over because it's still part of your journey. You're not sort of like cutting through it and dismantling it. And that's what I feel like. I know this is a really weird way to explain it. This is the way Honey's showing me. It's kind of like if you dig through a tunnel through it, you're kind of like destroying it. But if you go over it and keep it within your, I guess, path or your spiritual journey, it's you're not destroying it. You're keeping it there. It's kind of like you're not essentially getting over her. You're keeping the memory there. You're not destroying the memory. That's what she's trying to say. Because at the moment, it feels like, in a sense, that the sadness and the grief is somewhat destroying the memory. And that's what it feels like, digging through it. And you're sifting through so much. And it just be, what she's trying to say is just you put all that back and keep the grief is a gift, because it's just love that doesn't go anywhere. And it's just, you want it still there. You want that time still in your energy field. It's never going to go away. And I'm feeling a bit, almost like a lump in my chest here as soon as I'm saying that. So I don't know whether you're physically hurting over it. Does that make sense? It makes sense from what she's showing me. Now, whether I've explained it correctly to what she's saying, I just see her wagging her tail. Although it was like quite a curled tail, but it just feels like that's the way she wants to describe it to you, the way she sees it, the way she sees your grief. So let me check the chat. Honey, there we go. Oh no, internet froze, missed some. Oh dear. Okay. Kelsey, if the internet froze and you missed some, can you just let me know the last thing you heard so I can repeat that, just so that you don't miss it. Now, so Rochelle's popped a message in the chat, everyone. So Rochelle has Stewie. Stewie pretty much decides to come every week. Rochelle has a Facebook page called Soul Agreements Spirit Photography, and it's all about signs that she receives from Stewie now that he's gone to spirit. And it's really funny because, Rochelle, I didn't actually have the chance to message you, but I took a photo of a cloud the other day, and it was a person, it was a female in the cloud, and it was looking up, and it was because Rochelle gets a lot of messages from the clouds, a lot of images from Stewie, and there's just so much in, like, it's just such a way for them to give us signs and like confirmation in the clouds. I love it because it's there, and then you feel it, and then it goes. It's just a moment in time that only you get. No one else really gets that. So if there's anyone that wants to see signs and wants confirmation of those signs, if you're having them yourself, have a look at Rochelle's Facebook page. It's really cool, and you'll see lots of signs. Kelsey, okay, so Easter is a good time. All right, so that's where you heard up to. Okay, let me see if I can remember it all. What I was saying with Callie is that Callie's personality, I feel, was when I went out on her terms. I wouldn't expect anything less from Callie, almost as if I can see her laughing just at how relieved she is that she's there now. However, it wasn't planned. But again, animals like to go out on their terms just as our humans do. Just as we do as humans. Easter, regardless of whatever you believe, I'm not going to go into beliefs or anything like that on the show, but it is a good time for endings and beginnings, and I feel like that Callie actually felt quite comfortable going at this time, almost as if it was meant to happen at this time, although we couldn't see it coming, especially since she was okay Friday, but then Sunday she wasn't. And often they do that too because they don't want you to worry or stress. And it's not Callie's style also to make you it's not something she wanted. She wouldn't want you to sort of worry about her or feel like, it's a long goodbye. With her, she's happy with the quick goodbye. That's just like, because you know why? It makes a bigger impact, and that was her personality. So I feel like that's what Callie was wanting to come through and say. So let me just see the chat and see what we've got in there. So Rochelle's put a message in the chat saying that it's very comforting, the clouds, and if you look at her Facebook page, and one of the reasons why she does do the page is so it brings comfort to others who have lost pets. And so you can actually also, other people can recognize the signs and see that, because sometimes when we get signs, we think, oh, I don't know, maybe I'm making it up. Maybe it wasn't a real sign. But then when you see the photos of other people with their signs and evidence of their signs, it just kind of brings comfort to you. So definitely check it out. Now, Heidi, did you understand what I was saying about honey? And did you want me to go further into anything with honey? Also, too, with you, it's funny, I know the beach, it wasn't really her favorite place on the world, but I just feel like you may be having a lot of memories of that lately, and because that's what actually one of the first things that came up when honey came up this morning. So I just keep getting like, why is there this pull to the beach all of a sudden? Now, for everyone who is not familiar with where we live, even though Heidi and I live in different states and the weather can be very different, Heidi's in a much colder state than I am in, so it'd be very cold where you are, but I'm still getting a pull to the beach area. So be interesting to see how that connects with Honey and Heidi. Honey and Heidi, oh, H&H, I love that. You should get a tattoo with H&H. That'd be cool. You're welcome, Kelsey. So if there's anyone watching on Facebook or any other platform, please pop over to thespiritrealm.net and leave a message in the chat so I can connect with your loved one, whether they're living or past. So for me, I'll just explain, I connect with obviously living or past pets. I bring through their thoughts, feelings, emotions, and how they see life. And that's not always how we see life because we are different. And even just where they are in life, as in physically where they are in life, gives life a whole different perspective and meaning. So what I do is just bring through what they want me to bring through, and that's it. It resonates or it doesn't, or it may resonate later. That's just how I work. So there you go. A very brief description of how I work. And I haven't had a chance actually to look at Facebook. Let me see if I can find if there's anyone watching there, just in case, so I don't miss anyone. Let me see. There we go. Okay, let me have a quick look. So hello, Diane and Glenda, who are watching on Facebook. If you'd like me to connect with one of your pets, please come over to thespiritrealm.net and leave a message in the chat, and we can connect that way and have a, hopefully give some really good connections with your pets. Otherwise, we will be sticking with Heidi, Stewie, and Callie, which are all awesome animals. Oh, someone has an itchy nose. Okay, someone out there has itchy skin, because all of a sudden I've got an itchy nose, itchy head, and itchy skin. And I don't feel like it's any of those. Actually, it's none of those, because they're all in spirit. So someone out there has a pet that's got itchy skin, and it has something to do with the food they're eating, like a reaction. Oh, I wonder what that is. Let me see. Oh, something very odd too. Something like a vegetable, something that you wouldn't think that this animal's having a reaction to. There's a reaction going on out there. And I'm feeling it's more of a dog. It's not a cat. It's like Callie's right there just looking at me. It's really interesting actually with Callie though, because I know I'm switching here, there, and everywhere. So if you're paying attention, guys, if you're on watching the show, we go on a ride every week. I feel like Callie's still around watching you. Like almost as if, like obviously she's in that realm, but she doesn't see the need to stay there. Now, I just want to put that straight. She's not stuck. They don't get stuck. These animals don't get stuck that are pets and loved and cross over. There's different there's animals come in all different ranges, whether it's, pets, wildlife, ocean, all that sort of stuff. But I'm talking about the pets that are loved and that we help cross or cross suddenly, but they're loved pets. And they still have that connection to the house. But I actually feel like Callie's still up high watching you. And I'd be very interested to see if you've actually felt her in your house. And I'm getting more to the left side, which is odd because normally I see them on the right side, so it's on the left side. So there must be somewhere where you walk into your room, you look up to the left, and possibly an area that she used to stay in. But that's why I'm feeling like her energy is still there, very much so. Just observing. I find that quite cute. Right, what does the chat say? Okay. Itsy Bitsy Living. Oh, no connection. Let me see. There we go. So Rochelle's got Itsy Bitsy Living, has been profusely licking her stomach for a week. There we go. So maybe Itsy Bitsy, that's got the groomer found a lump almost between her legs, inner thigh. Any information on this? I have a vet appointment for her. Perfect. Madam May's mama. Hello, Madam May's mama. Heidi. Sorry, guys, I'm just going to read out the chats because if anyone's watching and can't see the chats, it must be really boring just to have me respond to chats that you can't hear. So here I'll see. So I'm just going to read them out and then go back to them. So Heidi, thanks, Nicole. Sorry, I was trying to find a picture of her. I would love her. Hang on. I would love to hear anything from anything that Honey has to say or bring to me. Missing her so much. Oh, and if anyone is on the chat, please have a look, and you can have a look at Honey because she is beautiful. And then Rochelle's like, itsy boo. I thought I was having a reaction on her belly from the grass, but now it's a lump that has been found. Isn't that interesting? Okay. Itsy Bitsy. We've connected to Itsy Bitsy, haven't we? Like privately in a session, I feel like we have. Is the lump squishy? Because I'm getting like I can squish it with my fingers. Itsy Bitsy. Now, how many people just sung the song Itsy Bitsy Spider with that? Okay, let me get lump. What's going on with the lump that I can feel? Okay. I heard the term wiggle when she walks. So I feel like it's actually changing the way she walks a little. It's a little bit uncomfortable for her. I do feel like it's a little bit softer though. So just have a feel and see if you can move it because it feels squishy, which by the way is a good sign. I'm not a vet. Obviously, you've got an appointment with the vet and the vet can check it out. But it's, what is it? Anyone know that song, My Lumps, My Lovely Lady Lumps? It feels like I actually think of that song when I look at my old girl because I call them her old lady lumps. And that's what I feel like is going on with the Itsy Bitsy lumps, almost like lymphatic lumps. Does that make sense? Wouldn't be surprised too if you find more somewhere else, not so big, just around almost, where are we? I would even feel like even look on her stomach or around chest, just little ones as well. But I'm glad you're getting it checked out. I feel like it's always good to, obviously you don't want to just go, oh, it's nothing, because it could be, even if it is a squishy lump. But I feel like the wiggle when you walk and almost as if she knows they're there. Annoying in the leg, but I just feel like there's more on her body. So just keep an eye out for that. Oh, she's Stewie's mum. That's right. There we go. Do you know what's really funny, Rochelle, is I was in the kitchen before here getting ready for the show, and I actually had a headache. But with Stewie, I normally have a headache in the one area, and last week it was traveling, and we worked out that it possibly did travel in his brain, but I was feeling all over my head today. So and I actually said to myself out loud in the kitchen, there's someone that's got an animal that's got a headache, and I didn't even realize it's Stewie just letting me know, of course, because of my show today. She's 15 this year. Yes, she gets little lumps everywhere. There you go. So that's confirmation from Rochelle. So I feel like it's just irritating her, that lump, the little wiggle wump, I called it. Oh, dear. Oh, okay. So a question from Kelsey about Callie. Oh, yeah, sorry. I'm just going to read this out because it's confirmation. Yes, she waddles kind of. So it is annoying her to the point where she has to walk differently, more annoyance than anything. But the lump itself, I don't think she's actually feeling any pain from that. It's just there. And almost the fact that she's at it is more of just like, if I do this, it'll go away. That's the way she's thinking in her mind. And she's 15. She's decent age. Oh, we have been watching little ones on her chest for a couple of years. There you go. So that's also confirmation around there. I mean, it always pays to get it looked at, obviously. We don't want to just assume with pets' health, but I feel like that's why it's annoying her, just because it just makes her walk differently, not that it's there as such. And if she feels like she can remove it herself, she will. And that's what I feel like she's doing with licking and, scratching at it if she could. So question from Kelsey. How are Fred and Odie doing since Callie's passing? Let me have a look. Which one of them is feeling lost? I feel like I'm looking out next to me, kind of like I would take direction from Callie. and she's not there. And it feels like I'm just kind of, it's weird to navigate life all of a sudden without that person there. And I feel like she actually used to annoy him as well, so it must be a male. I feel like she actually used to annoy him, and even though they have this little bit of a, I wouldn't say love-hate, but just brother-sister relationship, that's what it feels like. Not having that person there is all of a sudden strange, and I'm feeling a little bit lost in my energy. And I feel like the other one's like, well, it's bad, isn't it? But it's just the way they deal with it. They're all different. They grieve differently to us. They definitely notice the void. One's not as upset as the other, but one who used to get it feels like Callie on this one. Callie used to annoy this one. All of a sudden, it kind of feels like my arm's been removed. Like, it's been there for so long and now it's not there, and it just feels weird. It's a weird, almost a numbness as well, that how do I navigate life without this person? Because even though she annoyed me and would probably pick on me a little, I just feel like she was still like a mentor. So that's what I feel like one of them's feeling. Let me just check the chat. Okay. So I'll read out a response from Kelsey when she responds in relation to what I was just saying about King and Odie. But Rochelle has mentioned about Itsy Bitsy. We have been watching the little ones, little lumps on her chest. The vet said it would be a big surgery. That would be a lot for her. So we just watch and help her when needed. Her vet called them old lady lumps. Oh, that's so funny, on her chest. Spot on. We must think the same, the vet and I. Honestly, just from a pet owner point of view, I wouldn't put a pet through surgery at 15 for lumps that aren't bad. However, any new lump, I would suggest getting that checked out. So I feel like you're doing that anyway, because you said you've got an appointment with the vet. So I love your course of action. I'd say keep on that. And it's also just good for Itsy Bitsy just to get that confirmation too for herself. She knows, but, it's always just nice, isn't it? Just to have that feeling. So Kelsey, so it's Odie, right? So Odie is the one that's feeling is Odie the one that's feeling a bit lost without Callie? It's funny, the way I'm seeing it is like I'm seeing side by side, but now obviously I'm seeing one pet and a silhouette of another, which would be Callie. But I still feel like side by side. So it's interesting because I feel like I can still see her, but I can't. I see her, but it's different. And that's what I need to get my head around. And that's why it's so numb, because it's not the constant interaction. Again, just like how we grieve, I feel like your other pets are grieving. One more so than the other, because the other one is kind of like, well, that happened type thing, which honestly, that's just a defense. That's just how they deal with it. And sometimes not dealing with it is the way that they actually deal with it. So we are very similar, pets and humans. Although people see us on different levels, I actually see pets a lot higher than us in the spiritual realm or in the earthly realm, because a lot of people see them below us. But I actually feel like they've got a lot to teach us, and we feel like we're above them, but I don't think that's right. But that's just my opinion. Everyone's entitled to their own opinion. I just feel like they teach us so much in life about life and about us that there's no way they could be underneath us. They just have to help us. And that's pretty much their entire job on the earth. Sorry, I'll go back to the chat. Oh, so it's okay. So it's Odie that, Odie doesn't want to eat. Oh, poor honey. He's lost 2 other cats. So that's a lot for Odie. One thing I'm going to say with Odie is a couple things. Don't push it. Like he needs some time to grieve. Don't, what am I trying to say here? Don't change his routine too much because that'll also put him out a little bit to help Odie. Just try and keep things the same so he has that to rely on. Even though it's the same without her, he has to learn how to do his same routine without her. So it's a way to learn. So keep that the same for him. It just gives him a bit of security. And also too, from his point of view, he doesn't know what to do. So by having that from you, that's the way that you can support him and just keeping that all the same, keeping it all, and the other thing is, and this is going to sound so hard to do, is give him space to grieve. Also comfort him when he needs it, but don't try and keep him in that grief because he will process it. And obviously with each passing, it brings up more emotions because it's kind of like you can put it off for a bit, but there's always that one that brings it back. The other thing too, someone's having chest pains from this. So we hold our grief in our chest. So it wouldn't be surprised if it is Odie, and that's probably why he's not eating as well. But I'm feeling chest pains. So that for me is where we hold that grief, and that's where it comes out sometimes. And that's when we're trying to deal with it, but we're not actually successful at that. The energy is held within our body, and that's where it can hurt. And that's why you actually find sometimes some pets and humans will die of like heart attacks not long after someone else passes. Not saying that will happen to Odie, but that's just a way that it can actually, that actual emotional grief can cause that physical reaction in our body. So allow him to grieve, but don't try and keep him stuck there by just keeping his routine going. Still offer the food. If he doesn't eat it, that's fine. Eventually he will. He just needs to get through the next, I'm going to say 3 to 6 weeks. I just feel like that's going to be his like little niche of time that he needs to properly process this. And then you'll see a shift. Doesn't mean he's going to go back to normal, but you'll see a shift within that time. So there you go. Let me see what we got. Oh, Fred. So Fred cat doesn't seem to miss Callie, but they never really bonded. There you go. So that's the one that's just like, meh, oh well. I mean, we've all had that too, haven't we? Sometimes you feel like you've heard that on the grapevine that someone's passed and you're like, meh. It's not that. It's not that they're callous or cold. It's just it just didn't have that effect on them, and that's okay. Oh, Heidi, just wanted to send another cute photo of my girl. Oh, Honey. All right, let's see what we can get from Honey. Heidi, is it you that's having the chest pains as well? Because as soon as I looked at that, now, for everyone watching, I'm not going to go into private session of what we had with Honey and Heidi, but I know that pain would relate to her, but I feel like this is a different, it's coming from a different source. It's not a medical one, it's an emotional one. And we had a medical with Honey. So I actually do feel like it's an emotional one coming through. Oh, poor thing. Okay. What we got, Honey? Why am I seeing her footprints? I know you have her things. What is that? Did you used to laugh at her when she'd frown? That's what I'm feeling. Like almost as if she'd tell you off and she'd have that look and you thought it was hilarious. That's what I'm feeling from her. It's quite cute. Okay. And I'm getting drawn again to her footprints. Why her footprints? Why her footprints? Let me see, Honey. What's going on? It's it's like you miss seeing them somewhere. Almost as if almost as if you'd see like mop the floor or something and you'd see her footprints. And at the time it was annoying, but now that's what you miss. Like little memories like that keep popping up with her. So it's kind of like they were there, but they weren't there. That's what I'm seeing. Almost if you go crook at someone for walking on your freshly mopped floor. Or bathroom. It's the steam in the bathroom as well. You'd see it as well on the ground. And did she watch you in the shower, or did she come with you in the bathroom? I feel like a lot of pets love to do that because they're close to you. And even though it's a very vulnerable time for you, they, in their own mind, they feel like they're protecting you because you are in a vulnerable state. And I feel like that was something that she would do for you. I'm getting goosebumps on my left leg. That's my human leg. Why is that coming up? Almost as if she felt like she had to protect you from, that's probably like from other humans. And that was her way to do it. Just being near you when you're in the shower or in that vulnerable state, even in the bathroom. You know that meme, like I'm in the bathroom, but the animals here, family meeting, assemble now, that type thing, because it's a different meaning to us and for them. For us, we're just going about our business and doing what we need to do. But for them, they're like, oh, I better go and just sit and just make sure they're all right. Even if it's outside the door or inside. I feel like Honey, though, used to like there's something to do with the steam anyway with her. But I also feel like she felt like she needed to be into everything anyway. She was equally into your life as you were in hers. And that's the thing you're missing as well. It's like you don't have your little helper investigating and, dare I say, judging whether it's what you're doing is in her mind correct or not. And I don't mean that in a bad way. I feel like it's kind of like a best friend would. You know, they'd follow you, you'd do stuff together and they'd give their opinion, and you, obviously she couldn't speak like we're speaking, but you'd know because she'd look at you and be like, like she would be able to physically show you what she's thinking, and you knew that. Oh, and that's the other thing too. I know she had a lot of things happening towards the end, but she is bringing me to in her stomach. Left-hand side, what is that there? I feel like she had more going on inside her body, not just what we discussed, but it feels like she actually did have a pain in her stomach too, but it's not her stomach or digestion. It was something else in an organ. Does that make sense to you? Sorry, guys. I know that, but it feels like it needs to come through because that's what Honey wants to say. Let me see. Honey, she just always had a sassy look. That's so funny. It says my internet's not connecting. It could just be because where I am. So I'm sorry if it's cutting out because I live rural and sometimes the mountains can mess with the internet connection. And I can't actually see if there's any chats because I'm getting this red sign saying there's no connection on my phone. So let me just see if I can switch where the source is coming from. Okay, come on. See if I just turn the Wi-Fi off and just use my phone data if that makes a difference. There's a few more chats now. Here we go. So Heidi's mentioned with Honey, she was so independent. She did come into the bathroom with me and also hate when I bathed her in the shower. Oh, that's pretty cute. But didn't come in the bathroom. Sorry, that's fine. That's totally fine. The bathroom obviously was the place where she felt that she needed to be with you in that vulnerable state. Maybe she didn't like the bathroom with you. That's a bit of sass on her behalf, isn't it? Cute. I feel like she still knew where you were all the time. Okay. I think the chat's working, guys, because I've just had a few chats come through. Sorry if it's a bit of a delay. It's just I think where I am and the weather's a little bit iffy where I am. So Heidi's mentioned, yes, so this is Honey, was also in my life, if that makes sense, but from her sassy spot on the couch or wherever she wanted to be. She would come and see me if I was in the spare room. Then we would walk off. Would walk off. So she would actually keep an eye on you. And what I mean, sorry, I'm going to elaborate on that. She would keep checks on you, is what I'm trying to say. She would, because I know I don't want to give too much information away to people that, because I obviously want to respect privacy, but I feel like she just kind of always wanted to check where you were and she knew exactly where you were. She didn't have, that's the thing, she didn't have to go and check on you. She didn't have to go and see you. She didn't have to go and do that, but she wanted to because that made her feel good. And it just gave her that, oh, yep. Mm-hmm. Confirmation in a sense. So I hope that makes sense. So what she's bringing through, though, is a lot of what you would do on a daily basis, what you guys would do and connect with. And it feels like the reason why she's bringing that always back to that, your daily life, to what you used to do, is because that's where you're going. That's what you're missing the most. That's where the void is so big. And it feels like that's where you keep sending up to her. Like, I miss these moments. I miss you. I'm just miss walking and seeing you there. I miss just having your, just the, not even the smell, because I don't even think she would smell, like just having the essence of her in your life. And that's what's really messing with your mind and your heart, because it's just not there. And she's wanting to acknowledge that. She's kind of like acknowledging that I see all these memories and these emotions that it being almost, I'm seeing like it's, how I'm seeing it, the bingo balls, almost as if all these memories and everything is just rolling around constantly in your mind, and it's just stop, and every now and then one will pop out, but it's just never stopping. And that's what I feel like she's wanting to say that she can see is going on. And that's why she's like, don't try and like, what is the word? Like, embrace it, and don't try and, it's really hard though. I'm still going to say that. It's like, it's really hard to do. Like, just don't think about it. You're always going to think about it, but don't constantly see it as bad things going over and over, because what you're doing is it's bringing you down all the time. Even though they're trying to be good memories, it's actually bringing you down, because you're thinking of the good memories, but then at the end result is it's sad. So what you're doing to her is like, I'm thinking of you, but it's always sad. And that makes her sad, because when you think of them, you should be thinking them of obviously all those good memories, but try and take that ending part off. It's kind of like, that's what's keeping you stuck. It's like, celebrate her for being with you, not mourn her for not being there anymore. And that's the part where you're being stuck. And that's why it keeps going round and round in your head, because, I feel like you still go through the what ifs. What if I would have done that? What if I would have done that? And she would have been here and I would have seen this. And ultimately that's not right. The what ifs are not real. Does that make sense? I hope that makes sense. And I hope that kind of helps other people as well. Let me just check the chat. Okay. Okay, Veronica, I'll get to your Honey in a second. Oh, the paw prints might be that I plan to get a paw print tattooed. Her paw print tattooed. Oh, isn't that interesting? Could be related to me always having to give her foot baths for the paws. She always licked. So the paws were quite important connection between you and her. There you go. See, I would make that a good connection, a good feeling. I know you like your tattoos, so get the tattoo. Like, it'll make you feel connected with her. And then when you look at it, you can smile, you know, and that sends her good energy, you know, a good connection. Hi, Brianna. So I hope that makes sense, Heidi. Please let me know in the chat. And then, Veronica, you have a question about Jack. Jack, for everyone, is a black cat. I have a black cat. I love my black cat, gotta say. Jack, this is Jack, a stray that was born on this side of our house. We ended up adopting him, love that, and still getting used to being around us. I notice he does cry during eating sometimes and even avoids us petting him on the head. That's, yeah, for some reason. He never was like this up until recently. Interesting. Okay. Cries when he eats. I actually think there's something going on with him there. The fact that we're avoiding, we want you to, so much just came in. The fact that he's avoiding that contact, the fact that he's crying with food, for me, feels like there may be something going on within his mouth or here. Have you taken him to a vet? Because it feels like there may be something like an abscess or something within a tooth that's actually making it very difficult for him. And the fact that even the touch could be quite painful for him. Yeah, and I feel like quite possibly around this area, but it extends because when it, what's the word? Nerves connections, it extends. So it's not just there, it's there. So I feel like there's actually something going on with Jack in relation to that. And I'm getting, as soon as I just went to write his name, I'm getting even up into the eye. So I feel like there's something going on within there that he may actually need to be looked at. That's a hard one because if he doesn't like but I still feel like he needs to be checked out. Sorry, guys, I have roosters and they're carrying on at the moment. All right, Jack, what else we got? See, I feel like I'm clenching my jaw a lot with Jack. So just watch that and see if there's a particular side that we're avoiding more. Just watch him. But I feel like it's this side. As you could see when I was rubbing, I was doing that more. So I feel like that sometimes I'm led to do that because that's what's happening within their body. What else we got, Jack? Have you noticed that he doesn't particularly like bright lights or something like that? Because I keep getting the words blinded by the light. There's something to do with the light that irritates him as well. I don't know what that is, but really, really bright lights are irritating him as well at the moment. And I'd also, just when I put out to him and ask him, is it the food you don't like? Are we crying out because we don't like the food? And it's not, it's not that. It's not the food. You look after him. And I feel like it's almost the same food as well. Quite possibly something cracked has created a bigger issue within his mouth. And it feels more like it's spread. When I say spread, like he can feel it further. Let me just have a look at the chat. Ooh. Never anything with lights. It's okay. But he gets fluid within his eyes sometimes, but I just thought it may be allergies. So you haven't been able to take him to the vet yet. That's fine. Funds are not very good at the moment. I'm just trying to save up because I have the feeling that it's going to be a bit more to get him some medical care. It's kind of like a cry of pain, yes. If you hang on, if you it's kind of like a cry of pain. If you at least, that's what it sounds like to me, and that's what he runs off afterwards. There you go. Yeah, I do feel like that's, I mean, I guess that confirms actually what I was saying, that it's something to do with that kind of, yeah. So Veronica's right, possibly bad tooth maybe, and quite possibly because I was abscess. So like if there's a bad tooth and it's created an abscess, that sort of thing, that actually creates more pain. Quite possibly something to do with that. So and it may be that he may need a couple of teeth removed. So just be very careful with him. That will actually be quite painful. So I would try and, if you can, try and get him to the vet sooner rather than later, even if it's just for pain meds, and see what they suggest. And also too, just from I'm not sure where you actually are living, but sometimes where we are, we have like a rescue called Animal Welfare League. They have vets and they don't charge as much. They have, it's still vet work, and you can also sometimes go to, so this is in Australia, so I don't know where you are, but sometimes you can either go to like the university vets as well, and it's a lot cheaper, but obviously it's highly supervised, and the younger vets who are at that stage, they're still nearly qualified, work on your pets. So that could be a way to go to try and get a cheaper option for you. But I do feel like that is, I'm going to put it that way, for Jack. And that can be hard for him too, if that's the only thing he can do is just cry out. That's the only thing he knows what to do and how to get your attention. So, and I know you're feeling what I'm saying, and I know that he knows you're feeling when he cries out. So I would try and look into, maybe that's what you needed to hear today. Maybe look into those kind of vets or practices where, it doesn't cost as much to go, but you still get a great service, and it just gets him to be looked at, and at the very least pain medication, because that can really trigger a lot of pain in your body. And then not only that, it can get worse. By waiting to get it looked at, things will only get worse. So yes, I know that it can be difficult, but that would be my suggestion for you. I'm getting itchy right here, which is, so it could end up spreading to sinuses. Is that the word? So that's why it could be deeper than just a tooth, if that makes sense. I actually do feel like there's a sense of urgency about it. So just look into that. Maybe that's just the avenue to go. Look into university hospitals or community vets, things like that you may have in your area, and maybe even ones with payment plans that may help to get that. So that just might be some different options to help him. So let me just check the chat. So I hope that makes sense for you. Oh my goodness, all these chats just came through. I don't know what is going on with my internet today. Okay, hello to whoever said hello. Can I ask about a pet that's passed on? Yes, Oscar. Passed last year. Oscar took care of her, and now Kumara is lost. Oscar is on the left. So to wrap Jack up, Veronica said she definitely plans on taking him to a vet. Never doubted that. I just know it can sometimes be difficult to get there. maybe ask where I can find help. Perfect. And you're very welcome. And that does make sense. Perfect. I love that. So, okay, let me just see. Okay, Oscar passed last year. And now Kumara is lost. Do you mean, can I just clarify, Kumara, because lost as in missing from home? Let me just get, I've got like this little bit to see the questions and the photos. So just having a look. Oscar is on the left. Okay, so we need, that's Oscar that passed. So you're talking about the tabby. Can I just confirm you're talking about the tabby? Or do you want me to concentrate on Oscar? Okay. Let me see. And it could be too, guys, that my internet's just taking a while for these questions to oh, lost without him. Sorry. Okay, that makes sense. Right, I'm following now. Sorry, guys. Bit slow on the uptake today. Her name is Sky, and she was a Boston Terrier. So Oscar passed last year. The cat that's on the left is lost without Oscar. You see what I'm getting from that? Okay. Just looking at the chats, guys. Okay, who had the eye issue? Because I'm getting a twitchy eye on the right side of the eye. I feel like with all of a sudden my eye started twitching. So one of the cats is an eye twitch. Almost as if an eyelash is rubbing on the eyelid eye. That's what I'm feeling coming from one of them, actually. What is that? And I'm getting a lot of pressure on the back of my head. How does that relate to them? Do they also have... I kind of feel like one would lay on the other one, almost as if I grab it like a bear. I feel like there was this kind of... It feels like sometimes I grab it, but then sometimes I just slink on the other one. And I feel like that's what's very difficult to be without. It's the touch, and it's not that I want human touch. I want that touch. And I feel like that's got something to do with... And I'm also feeling a little bit standoffish now. Kind of like that's my defense to it all. It's like the one that's left is sort of a little bit like that, aloof, I guess the word would be. Just check the chat and see if that makes sense. Yes, his eye twitched. There you go. Well, it's definitely him that I'm talking to then. And does it make sense to you too that I'm getting very much pulled to my left side going weak? So I don't know how that relates, but that's what I'm feeling. You notice I'm leaning to left. And I have been leaning, I tend to lean anyway to one side, but I feel like with him it was the left, and I'm feeling, it just feels that part is weak. And I don't know how to, other way to explain that. Okay. Right, so I'm going to have to quickly give a message from him. One thing, okay, so I actually do have to get off, guys, very soon because there is a show after me. What I want to say, though, about these two cats and with the eye twitch that came through straight away, just is from an acknowledgement that I am okay and free. I don't know why freeze. It must be something to do with the way he passed, but he feels free now and wants to acknowledge that he's still around, because if he can make my twitch, he can still come around you. And yes, that does make sense, and you miss him terribly. So if anything, just know that he's still there and he can still influence others like me who he can connect with. So just so you know that he can still be around you. Now, I am going to actually have to leave it there because there's a show after me. So if you can come back next week at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, please do that. And so we can actually delve a bit deeper into them. So it's on the 2nd of May next week here on the Spirit Realm Network. Please come back, and I'm going to actually connect with your two in a more I'm going to have time to connect with them. So please come. Thank you for everyone who's joined tonight. Please stay and watch the podcast after the Realm of Darkness. And I'm going to get off so they can get on time. But please come back next week, and I'll see you all then. Okay.